watching out. For you, this is NewsWatch 12 Breaking News.
Breaking news tonight, northbound Interstate 5 is being shut down in Medford. Take a look at our traffic map on your screen right now. Traffic backed up in the red highlighted area. Right now backed up between the two Medford exits and beyond exit 27. Medford Police Department told NewsWatch 12 the crash involving 3 semi-trucks. Police are shutting down northbound I-5 to allow access for tow trucks. NewsWatch 12 is working to gather more information and will provide updates as that information comes into the newsroom. You're looking at some of the scenes from the crash site right now. Meanwhile, our top story, Grants Pass City Council is meeting in an hour to discuss changes to its public camping sites. I want to thank you for joining us for NewsWatch 12 at 5. I'm Tim Quidadamo. The city looking to work with nonprofits to provide some services to people at these camping sites. NewsWatch 12's Leave Column joins us live in Grants Pass after visiting a pair of the sites today that are designated for public camping. Leave, what do these campsites look like?
Tim, the city telling NewsWatch 12 that these two sites are meant to be a short-term fix. So both of them have a pretty small footprint. There's no running water, shade, or benches at either. The city working with local nonprofits to provide services in these areas once they get a plan together tonight. Tonight, Grants Pass is discussing some upgrades to its designated resting places. 2 months after the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that the city had the grounds to ban public camping. They're determining the allowed use of shade and park benches so nonprofits can work to provide care. Max's mission is a group that works directly with unhoused residents to provide harm reduction services in the Rogue Valley. They're waiting for the city to provide clear boundaries so they can keep providing care.
There are things that other cities have done that have created these spaces for people to go, right? Because they are community members, and we have to remember that, and that also connect them with the services they need to rise up out of that situation.
Earlier this month, Grants Pass Mayor Sarah Bristol told NewsWatch 12 these resting sites are meant to be temporary. Neither the J Street or A Street property has access to running water, another item being discussed at tonight's meeting. Coming up on NewsWatch 12 at 6, we'll give you a live look into tonight's meeting and break down some of the reasons that community members are supporting and pushing back against some of these proposed changes. Live in Grants Pass, Leave Column, NewsWatch 12.
Leave, thank you. Meanwhile, Governor Newsom has signed new laws to help communities further address homelessness. California Governor Newsom signed 2 bills into law. They're designed to expand housing options and provide stability for vulnerable Californians experiencing homelessness. The new laws clear the path for additional emergency shelter beds using hotels and motels. This also streamlines building accessory units throughout the state. Now let's check in with Stormwatch 12 meteorologist Sarah Kress. Sarah, we've been tracking temperatures mostly the last couple of weeks. A cool weekend, things looking much hotter today.
Yeah, we're going to continue to heat up as we head into tomorrow, especially more inland. Now today, Brookings, you guys were seeing most of the heat getting up into the 90s, and that's about 25 degrees above normal for this time of year. Very hot. Now as we head into tomorrow, we'll see a change in where we can see those high temperatures. But tonight it is going to be cooling down. You'll see some relief from that heat. Definitely can open those windows finally in Brookings and turn off the air conditioning. But otherwise, we're going to see some clear skies for most of the region tonight. Now tomorrow along the coast, it'll be much cooler. You'll see your highs in the 70s, still above average for this time of year, but it'll be much more comfortable than what you were feeling today. Now across the rest of the region, we're switching places, and tomorrow inland it will be very warm. Trying for 100 degrees in Medford tomorrow, and we're going to be pretty close to seeing triple digits also in Northern California. Sunny skies will be very hot if you're standing in the sun, but we'll talk more about what we can expect the next few days coming up in our full forecast. Tim?
Sarah, thank you. On to our Fire Watch coverage. We're continuing to track the updates on fires impacting our region. The Middle Fork fire burning near Crater Lake has a huge jump in containment efforts today. Crews report that containment went from 2% yesterday to 27% now. It is burning primarily in burn scars from 2015 and 2017 throughout the Middle Fork fire area. There is an extreme hazard to firefighters due to falling dead standing trees remaining from those burn scars. And the Boise fire burning in Siskiyou County is 46% contained. Traffic control remains in place along parts of Salmon River Road. Crews continue to mop up and secure existing containment lines today. And we're going to take a look at the Phoenix weather camera now. We're seeing miles and miles of backed up traffic on Interstate 5 as we continue our newscast tonight. 3 semi-trucks crashed in Medford, and that has backed I-5 northbound up past that Phoenix exit, or to that Phoenix exit, I should say, exit 24 on I-5. We'll continue monitoring this story as we get more information in on the crash of these 3 semi-trucks. We know that Medford Police has told us they are shutting down I-5 northbound to allow access for tow trucks, and the Oregon Department of Transportation has told us that I-5 is now reopening. ODOT says to be careful on the side roads because those are being backed up as well. NewsWatch 12 is working to gather more information on this crash, and we will provide updates as soon as that information becomes available. Now, looking ahead, the Oregon Department of Justice is reminding Oregonians that the state's new ban on ghost guns goes into effect on September 1st. Last year, the Oregon legislature passed House Bill 2005 banning ghost guns. It refers to firearms that do not include a serial number and are home-built or assembled using parts purchased separately. Often obtained online, ghost guns can be assembled privately using components that do not require a background check. And a NewsWatch 12 update tonight. The Klamath River Renewal Corporation says it's in the final stages of the removal of the Klamath River dams. It says that this week it will breach the coffer dams at the Iron Gate and Copco No. 1 dam sites. Those 2 dams are essentially gone, and when it breaks through the coffer dams, the Klamath River will be free-flowing. After the river is back in its channel, crews will begin removing the diversion infrastructure at the sites. KRRC says crews are on track to be finished with dam removal in its entirety sometime in early fall, but restoration of the former reservoir footprints will be ongoing after that. Now, there have been rumors and reports swirling around that this investigation of the Medford School District is related to the reassignment of Student Resource Officer Josh Doney. So NewsWatch 12 reached out to the school district directly to ask if a board member investigation had anything to do with Officer Doney's reassignment. And right now, NewsWatch 12's Jerry Howard joins us live in studio. Jerry's looking at the school district's responses to your questions at home today. Jerry?
School board meeting, and Tim reported about it at 4 o'clock. The school district last night started an investigation into a sitting board member, and that comes with some questions about whether it ties to this school resource officer. Parents have questions about it, and that's the questions that our news director sent to Medford School District today for answers. And it answered. When asked about the school resource officer as an advocate for student and campus safety being reassigned back to patrol, the district told us, quote, SRO Josh Doney was not transferred due to a conversation with a board member as alleged. The transfer was due to an accumulation of concerns with regard to the MSD SRO standards and expectations, end quote. When asked about reports the investigation ties to a student with a gun at school without expulsion or consequences, the district said, quote, any student found with a firearm on an MSD campus or at an MSD event is expelled for at least 1 year per board policy and state law. We have never violated this policy. The ways in which students are returned to campus depend on the situation, end quote. The district says it will share more information about the board member investigation once it's completed. Now, continuing our coverage, parent concerns got a response from Medford Superintendent Brett Champion and Medford Police Chief Justin Ivins in a joint statement. They wrote, quote, It takes a community to keep our students safe, and there's nothing that matters more to us. MPD and MSD have the longest standing SRO program in the state of Oregon. Allowing false rumors to spread undermines the positive safety impact that the school resource officer and school marshal's program have in our community, end quote. They said Officer Doney's reassignment from South Medford High School to patrol was not disciplinary. They also said the transfer was not because he voiced concerns that the district and police department did not want to address. Tim?
Jerry, thank you. And today the city of Medford got an update on the South Stage extension plan and the Foothill Road construction. During a Transportation Commission meeting earlier this afternoon, 4 options were provided for the extension plan. The options included an overpass, underpass, an overpass with an interchange, and an underpass with an interchange. The committee agreed to send a letter in support of a full interchange as part of the South Stage Road extension plan.
Do these models, and then it takes a long time to get it done. And I mean, like I've shared with Jason and at Tradco, the traffic volumes we saw at the South Medford interchange occurred 10 years after it was done, and that was supposed to be 20. Those were not supposed to show up for 20 years.
Essentially, there are multiple options that are being considered for the South Stage extension plan. 2 of the options would extend South Stage Road without ramps onto and off of Interstate 5. 2 other options that seem to be supported by the traffic committee would have ramps on and off of I-5. On NewsWatch 12 Sports, it may be difficult to watch the Big Ten this weekend. NewsWatch 12 Sports' Madison Marie joins us live in studio to break down how you could be impacted by new blackouts this Saturday. Maddie?
Tim, Oregon football fans across the Pacific Northwest are just days away from watching the Ducks debut in the Big Ten this Saturday. After years of dealing with difficulties watching Pac-12 games, a new conference should call for a new change. But not so fast, as many at home might not have access to watching the game from their living room. An ongoing dispute between the Big Ten Network and Comcast may put a pause on your weekend plans. Per a source with Comcast and Xfinity, blackouts are expected to impact all 4 new Big Ten markets, including Oregon, Washington, and California. While negotiations are still ongoing, games will not air on the West Coast until rights to the new Big Ten schools are granted to Comcast by Fox BTN. Now there is a catch. A blackout likely will not impact a Big Ten football game that airs on Fox or FS1. Comcast and Xfinity customers will only face troubles if the event airs on Big Ten Network. So what does this mean for Oregon fans? Well, customers could purchase the Big Ten Network for an additional $10 a month. Although it's likely the Ducks game this weekend still will not air in the state of Oregon. So how can you watch the Ducks hit the field for the first time in the Big Ten? Hulu, YouTube TV, and Fubo do carry the Big Ten Network. They'll probably be your best bet at kicking off college football the right way. As for Oregon State fans, you're in luck. The Pac-12 reached an agreement earlier this year with the CW Network and Fox Sports. 11 of the Pac's 13 home games will air on the CW, the other 2 on Fox or FS1. Still an ongoing story. We'll keep you updated as more information is released. But for now, reporting live in studio, Madison Marie, NewsWatch 12 Sports.
Maddie, thank you. And only on 12 can you wake up and win 4 tickets to the Seven Feathers Fall Classic Rodeo. All you have to do is watch NewsWatch 12 this morning between 6:45 and 7 a.m. tomorrow and Friday to spot a code word. Then enter that code word at kdrv.com/contest. One winner will be chosen randomly each day, and the rodeo is scheduled for September 21st and 22nd.